This is one of the most chilling unsolved disappearances in American history. Not because a child vanished, but because she may have chosen to leave. Her name was Asha Degree. She was 9 years old. And on a cold February night, she walked out of her home and was never seen again. February 14, 2000. In a quiet town in North Carolina. Everything seemed normal. A simple home. A loving family. A routine day coming to an end. There were no signs of fear. No arguments. No warnings that anything was about to go wrong. Just another ordinary night. Slowly turning into something unexplainable. Outside. The weather had already begun to change. The wind picked up. Rain started falling harder with every passing minute. By midnight, a full storm had taken over the town. Thunder echoed across the sky. Streetlights flickered in the distance. The roads were empty. And the entire neighborhood felt unusually quiet. Inside the house, everyone was asleep. Safe. Protected from the chaos outside. Or at least, that's what they believed. Sometime around 2:30 in the morning, something happened. Something that would turn this quiet night into a mystery that still hasn't been solved. Asha woke up. No one knows why. There was no loud noise. No clear reason. Just a moment. That changed everything. She got out of bed. Silently. Carefully. As if she didn't want anyone to hear her. She didn't panic. She didn't hesitate. Instead, she did something that investigators would later find deeply unsettling. She packed a bag. Think about that. A 9-year-old child. Waking up in the middle of a storm. And calmly preparing to leave. This wasn't random. This wasn't confusion. This felt planned. She walked toward the door. The house was completely silent. Her family, still asleep. Unaware that this would be the last time she was inside that home. And then, she stepped outside. Into the darkness. Into the cold. Into the storm. Rain hit the ground aggressively. Wind pushed against everything in its path. Visibility was low. The kind of night where no one should be outside. Especially not a child. But Asha kept walking. Hours later, the first clue appeared. A truck driver reported seeing something unusual. A small figure. Walking along a highway. At first, he thought his eyes were playing tricks on him. Because who would expect to see a child out there? At that hour, he kept driving. But the image stayed in his mind. Something about it felt wrong. Later, another driver saw her too. This time, the driver slowed down. Concerned. Confused. They called out to her. Tried to get her attention. Tried to help. But the moment she noticed them, everything changed. She didn't move toward safety. She didn't ask for help. Instead, she ran. Straight off the road. And into the woods. Just like that. She disappeared into complete darkness. Imagine that moment. Rain pouring. Trees shaking violently in the wind. A small figure. Running deeper and deeper. Into the unknown. What was she afraid of? Or more importantly, who? When search teams arrived, they focused on that exact area. And what they found only made things more confusing. There were small items scattered around. Candy wrappers. Personal belongings. Signs that she had been there. But no clear path. No direction. No answers. It was as if she had simply vanished. Days passed. Search efforts continued. Volunteers joined. Helicopters scanned the area. Dogs tracked every possible scent. But nothing led to her. No footprints beyond a certain point. No witnesses after the highway sightings. No evidence of where she went next. It was like the night itself had swallowed her whole. Then, over a year later, a discovery shocked everyone. Her backpack was found. Not lying in the open. Not lost by accident. But buried. Carefully hidden. Wrapped in plastic. Protected from the outside world. That detail changed everything. Because it meant one thing. Someone had been there. Someone had taken the time to hide it. Inside the bag, investigators found items that didn't fully make sense. Things that raised new questions. Things that suggested this story was far more complicated than anyone thought. Now, this wasn't just a missing child case. This became something darker. Something planned. Something controlled. Something deliberate. Theories began to spread. Some believed she left on her own. But that idea didn't explain everything. It didn't explain the fear. It didn't explain why she ran into the woods. Others believed someone lured her out. Someone she trusted. Someone who knew how to convince her to leave everything behind. That possibility is far more disturbing. Because it means this wasn't random. It means someone was waiting. And then there's the most chilling thought of all. That whoever she encountered that night was the last person to ever see her alive. Years passed. The case grew colder. Leads faded. Memories blurred. But the mystery never disappeared. Investigators kept trying. Revisiting evidence. Following new tips. But every path led back to the same place. Nothing. No clear suspect. No confirmed truth. No closure. Just silence. And questions that still don't have answers. What made her leave that night? Why didn't she ask for help? Why run into darkness instead of away from it? And the biggest question of all, who was out there? Even today, people still talk about this case. Because it doesn't feel real. It feels like something out of a nightmare. A child walking alone in the middle of a storm, vanishing without a trace. No explanation. No ending. No truth. Just a story that refuses to be forgotten. Somewhere out there, the answer still exists. Hidden. Buried. Waiting. And maybe one day, it will finally come to light. But until then, one image remains. A small girl walking down an empty highway under a dark, stormy sky. Alone. And then gone. Forever.